This is episode 83, and today we're talking about government contracts and how individuals can actually be able to win a contract from the government. It's very important. The government spends a lot of money and buys a lot of services and products from the general public, the private sector, and you can create a business and be involved in that government process. I really want you all to really understand the idea of procurement and government contracts. So we're doing a video on that and how you can be involved in this industry, because you must be involved in this industry, or not must, but you should consider it. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about government contracts. You look at the U.S. The U.S. is probably the biggest client, definitely in America, but maybe in the world. And it buys hundreds of billions of dollars worth of products and services from the general public every single year. And there are many types of government contracts. There's the local city procurement government contracts you can buy. You can bid on and win. State level, the federal level, and even the international level as well. I mean, if you look at what the government doing internationally, I mean, it has military bases all over the world, and the military bases need services. They also give a lot of grant money to a lot of countries and a lot of nonprofits, a lot of charities and things all around the world for everything. You know, reading programs across the world, literacy programs. There are HIV programs across the world, malaria. I mean, it gives money to other governments. It does a lot of things internationally, but also in America, it does many things too, and you can be involved in that, and I think you should. I mean, even if you have a business, it doesn't even involve anything. I'm pretty sure the government may be a buyer of that. The government contracts range from anything and everything. I mean, from janitorial services, you have to clean government facilities, or clean military bases, or whatever it may be, to landscaping, to I don't know, IT products and services, professional services, accounting, legal, whatever it may be. The government is a buyer of that product. You know, it can be anything and everything. I mean, we should learn to start thinking about buying that. We're going to focus more on today in this video. We're focusing more on the federal, because federal is the general that crosses all 50 states as well as internationally as well. So we're gonna focus on that, and it's important to know that government contracts can be short term, but also can be long term. They can last multiple years. They can last 4, 5, 6, 7 years. If you win a government contract and it can extend for 7, 8 years, then you begin to plan. You know, I have $100,000, $1 million, however much the government contract is. I have this coming over in equal amounts over 7, 8 years, so I can begin to hire people, and that's very important, because the largest employer of people in the world, at least in America, are small businesses. And this is something we should be thinking about. And first thing we should be thinking about is how to go about doing it. You know, one of the best ways to do it initially in the beginning is to be a subcontractor. You have a person that wins the government contract. They call a prime contractor, but they'll also subcontract some of those things out, and you can be a subcontractor. For example, I mean, you know, security. I mean, you can be one of those to help serve in security. I mean, you've been in the military, and you can serve in security. I mean, there's a lot of certifications that comes with government contracts. And you can get a certification, and when you get with that certification, then you begin to bid on different contracts that are particular for that, they've been set aside for that particular demographic. For example, if you're a veteran, they have contracts that only veterans can bid on, and also if you're a disabled veteran, they have those as well. They have this is federal level. They have the SBA. They have the 8A program. That's for people who have been historically economically disadvantaged. So you can get an 8A certification. You can win government contracts with people that have been set aside for people in that program, 8A program. You also have women-owned businesses. I mean, there's quite a few of these, and if you don't qualify for a certification, you can also partner with someone who qualifies for that certification. You can probably bring some things. You may have more experience for that person. Say, for example, it's a veteran-owned business. They may not have experience in that particular area, but you can partner with that person with that certification, and that increases your chances of winning that government contract. So there's many things you can do. I mean, I just want individuals to be mindful of this and how you can go about starting it. For example, first thing you can do is start a company. We talk about this a lot. You know, get an EI, get your LLC, whatever state you're in. Typically, do an LLC in that state, go to the Secretary of State's website and start your LLC. EIN number, it's tax ID number. You also want to get your DUNS number, your DUNS, your DUNS number. You want to get that. You also want to start learning about the different, what they call NAICS codes. That's NAICS, NAICS codes, about particular services, particular specialization areas you want to focus on. For example, you want to focus on janitorial services. You want to focus on whatever industry you want to focus on. Learn about that NAICS code so you can begin to search different government that have databases, and you can put your NAICS code in that and start figuring out what type of contracts are in my NAICS code or in my particular area, my area that I want to focus on. You also can register in SAM. That's a lot of places where the government contracts are at. For example, you go to beta.sam.gov. That's one of the places they have it. It's in transition. Now they're transitioning everything into one place. So beta.sam.gov, they list all the government contracts. They list, put your NAICS code, you can search for all the different government contracts. And also your DSBS profile. That can serve as a place for maybe different governments. You can look at that database and find your company in. So these are some of the things you can do to begin the initial steps for government contracts. And it's very important. Also, when it comes to government contracts, they have what they call business forecasts. For example, if you want to work with the USAID, you want to focus on internationally, or if you're an international person, you want to work with the American government, USAID, USAID, they do business forecasts. The government agencies, a lot of the big federal government agencies do this as well. For example, they'll put out a business forecast and they'll say these are all different types of government contracts that are going to be out this year, and you can see that and see how much they're going to be giving out for that amount. It can be $1 million, hundreds of millions. It can be. I mean, the government contracts get very, very big, and what you can do is you can see, okay, I see this one in this particular area. I may not qualify to be able to win that, but I can start partnering with people, and together we as a team can win this government contract. Those are some of the things you can do. You create joint ventures. You can also operate as a subcontractor. There's many things you can do when it comes to government contracts, and the key is you want to figure out what service you want to offer, and then potentially maybe start as a subcontractor. Start networking with individuals, and then you can start learning how to work with, how to win and bid on these contracts successfully, and then you can start doing your own thing. You can start making some money, and then you can grow from there. And overall, I just wanted individuals to know that the world of government contracts is an often misunderstood industry, but it's an opportunity. I mean, individuals should take advantage of this opportunity because it exists for a reason. The government, in essence, they won't go on Amazon and buy something, or they issue out a bid, maybe a RFQ, request for quote, for a price on something, and the lowest price may win. For example, the government may want to buy a bunch of computers. They may issue out an RFQ, and individuals can bid to supply the government with these computers, and the lowest price will win. But if it may be an RFP, request a proposal, price may just be one of the factors. You might have experience. You got to be qualified. You got to be able to, if you want to build some type of construction or something like that, or you want to fix a road, or if you want to fix a sidewalk, whatever it may be. It can be construction. It could be really any industry it is, and they issue out that government contract, and then pricing would be one of the determining factors. It won't be the main one. Your team will be the main determining factor, but I just want you all to understand that this is an incredible opportunity. I'm going to talk more about this going forward, but this is an aspect for business development, because if you can have your regular business, but also add an extension by selling that same product or service to the government and winning government contracts. This is business development. We have to understand that. Business development. How are we trying to? What are we actively trying to develop business? Because I understand the idea of a business, but business development is a real part of it. And one way you can develop business is having the government be a big part of your revenue source, because the U.S. government spends lots of money. I mean, they spend hundreds of billions of dollars every single year. And you, as a business, you as a person that may qualify for some of these certifications, they making it easy for you to do it. Now, it's going to take some time, potentially, but you have to get certified. And then from there, then you can start bidding on some of these government contracts. But you don't even have to have a certification to bid on a government contract. But if you want to bid on the ones that have been set aside, either you get the certification or you partner with somebody who does have that certification. But that's all I wanted to talk about. This has been episode 83. So to recap what we talked about a very solid introduction into the world of government contracts. I mean, as I mentioned, there's city, local, there's state, there's federal, and international government contracts, all within the U.S. System, all within the U.S. Legal system. Government contracts, the U.S. government contracts procurement. So You can work with the DOD, the Army, the Navy. You can work with the USAID, and also even the local state area. So that's all I wanted to talk about. And I hope you all have found some value in this video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're one step closer to 1,000 episodes. Thanks.